everybody. I apologize for being later tonight than intended. I took my nephew to Monster Jam, and he had a great time. We were seeing some cool tricks and whatnot, and then by the time we got back home to my brother-in-law's house and chatted a bit, and things ran late. So I know I had said I was going to try to be closer to midnight. It's 1 here. I hope everyone's good. Either way, we're ready to get into Lost in Time and Space. So this is a little bit different in the return to, and we'll get into that. I've already pulled the decks out. We got to shuffle over here and shuffle over here. These are the stick to the plan cards. So first we'll look into the book. It's going to tell us to gather the cards, put the other dimension into play, and put us there. Set these cards aside and shuffle the encounter deck. The new thing here is there's going to be locations in the encounter deck that have revelations, or we have to do them when they show up. Other than that, there's nothing special in the base version, but in the return to, you'll see here, we have some extra stuff over here. So we're going to set these things aside out of play, which we've done. We're going to the ritual was not completed, so we're going to keep the original act. Okay, so that's act 2. So, oh, it's over here. So the ritual was completed. It was not. So we want that one, and this is no longer needed, and that is what we needed. Okay. Put the single-sided Realms Beyond location into play and spawn Yogg's Thoth there. Alright, so you can see here, he is connected. This location can only go one way, so Realms Beyond connects to another dimension, but another dimension does not connect back. So you can't really, once he moves, he's not going to be able to move back. You can see here he gets +6 health, which is quite a bit. He is not able to evade, and he doesn't make attacks of opportunity. Instead of taking horror when he attacks you, discard cards from the top of your deck. Then if you have no cards in your deck, you are driven insane. So basically, you definitely don't want to take that hit when you have no cards in your deck, right? You have to make sure that you flip over in between. So we'll get into how to manage that if possible. But we also have the struggle of having this guy here. Another dimension has a forced ability that whenever another location leaves play, move the investigators and each unengaged enemy at that location back to here, and that cannot be cancelled. And then you can see here we can discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck to get a location and follow its revelation. This is Lost in Time and Space, so you can see here, this is Realms Beyond, which connects to another dimension. And then the return to locations are circled, as you can see, but there's multiple options for both, so we'll see what comes up. We're going to end up at the moon, but we have to the upside down, right? The purple moon as opposed to the teardrop. Otherwise, we are good to go. These should just be the locations and the thrall. Okay, we are good to go. Let's do mulligans. Let's step out to the game master role and get going. Shuffle, shuffle. She has exactly 30 experience, so she now gets this as well. So, whoops. So it should be 4, 3, 5. Yep. So we can basically get +5 for the next skill test, and then we have to make no tests to get this back. This is very unlikely to occur, so we're almost never going to use that unless we absolutely need like a get out of jail free card. Alright, let's mulligan. Alright, well you can see some of the new cards we have, but none of these are weapons, so very easily we just say goodbye. Hopefully we'll draw them again later. We can't have weaknesses in the opener. We have our pole, but we prefer our hammer, but okay. We're not going to be greedy. Alright, and then for Norman, let's make sure we shuffled. Okay, we have everything that we need. We definitely don't want that in the opener. We'll get those later. So let's take 3 more. Can't have weaknesses in the opener. Alright. Flip him over, shuffle, 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 shuffle. As a beginning of the game action, we can put the Four of Cups into play, which gives us additional willpower, which is great. Over here, we are going to start with Lily's turn. She's going to play, Ever Vigilant. That is going to let her play 3 assets. She's going to play the Pole for 2, Enchant Weapon for 2, enchanting the Pole, and the Talisman for 1, turning her Pole online. So she has +2 combat and +1 damage on the Pole. From there, she's going to use the encounter card deck to go fishing for a location. She's found at least 1. She's found 2, so she has to pick. This one's a permanent one, so we're going to pick this one, and we'll put that into play. I believe diamonds go to the right. Yep. So if you follow the map, it'll look better when you do it. So in this one, we have to resolve the Revelation ability. So place 1 Doom on it or take 2 damage. So we'll take 2 damage. Where'd it go? Oh, it's on the card. After you fail a test here, you either flip a clue to Doom or discard it. Yeah, so we're just going to move down here to avoid this guy. Norman's going to come down as action 1. Actually, they'll use shortcut to save the action. 1, 2, 3. They're going to play... Oh, sorry, that's not correct. 4, we're going to spend 2 money and play Research Librarian. So we search through our deck for any book. While we're searching, we're allowed to find Astounding Revelation and get 2 resources, and then we're going to get our livre. I guess we could cheese with the livre here, but I think it's better to just get down the atlas and get more cards under it. So let's start here. We'll get our deduction underneath it, and that's all 3. We move, or we actually, sorry, hold on, let me back up. We shortcut down, so that's not an action. Then we played Research Librarian. Then we played Astronomical Atlas. So yeah, actually, I was right. Instead of playing Astronomical Atlas first, we'll play the livre. Then we'll use the livre to switch the top 2 cards of our deck. We'll use our ability to reduce the cost. It just saves us a resource. It's not the end of the world, but and then we have a different card that we'll put underneath it. We'll consume this underneath. All right. So that's that. In the monster phase, this hunts, and then we go to upkeep. And over here, we'll do upkeep. Doom on the agenda, make sure we shuffle, and encounter cards. Okay, this must spawn at another dimension, which is up here. When it attacks an investigator with cards in their discard pile, it gets Doom. Okay, well that means we die if we go through our deck, so that's really bad. And we have to put this into play and discard a copy of Tear Through Space, which we're not able to. Okay. And that goes in the middle, so over here-ish. I think what we're going to do is move everything up, because it doesn't all need to be down here, and there's going to be so many more locations that show up. So first, let's get everything realigned. That's done. That was our encounter cards. So now we're going to deal with this. We need to get 4 clues to advance, and there are 4 clues on this location. So let's try investigating. We're going to use our livre to swap the top card of our deck. We're going to put deduction there. Then we're going to commit deduction, or exhaust it to put this attached to the atlas. Then we're going to commit deduction to the investigation. So we are 6 to 3 is +3, and we'll commit perception to be +5. We'll succeed, so this goes to our hand, and we get 2 clues. 1, 2. And then we draw a card from perception, which is going to be this. That would have been very helpful a minute ago to block that. So that's action 1. Now, we could keep looping the deduction, but I don't know if we're going to have time to do that. And Lily doesn't have the ability to really investigate right now. She'd be even to the location, very unlikely that she would succeed. So instead of trying to greed for it, we're just going to investigate with deduction to try to get all 4 clues in advance now. And we do, which is great. So we're down to we're down to our final action on Norman. Before we do anything, we're going to advance the agenda. This is going to tell us to put the set aside edge of the universe location into play, so that's cool. So that's that. Edge of the universe, I believe it's over here. Yep. And then here we either draw the top card of the encounter deck or get rid of it. So that's kind of risky. What do we need to move into here? You must have at least 2 clues to enter. Okay, well that doesn't seem very smart to go that way. Because we don't want to draw encounter cards, that's bad. And we don't want to deal with other stuff. So I think we're going to play Blur instead with our final action, and we're going to stay here. Which means we know that at least one of us is going to get attacked by Yogg-Sothoth. So we're going to have Lily go back up to go say hello to her new friend. And she'll get engaged on. She will fight. She'll use her enchant weapon, so she's going to add her willpower to her combat to get to 9. Then she gets 2 extra, so she's 11 to 3, so she's plus 8, so she should do okay. Oh, sorry, this isn't a discard pile. She succeeded. She doesn't get to flip anything back because we didn't use anything, but that's okay. And then she'll do 1 damage from the weapon, 1 damage from the pole, and 1 base damage, so that's a total of 3. And then with her final action, she'll attack again. So this time she'll only be 7 to 3, which is plus 4. So we'll commit Overpower to be plus 5. Oh wow, that's a very fortunate pull. 2 crits in a row. It's pretty. Alright. Thank you, game. Thank you. Okay, what is it? And it's direct damage, even better. Cool. Alright. So we're gonna get attacked by Yogg-Sothoth, which has to deal a damage, which puts us on the brink of death. And then we can block as much of the horror as we want by putting cards into our discard pile. So there's 5 horror there, so we're gonna discard 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is there anything about of them being weaknesses? No, so that was good. We went over 2 of the weaknesses. But that's all 3 actions for Lily, so she's done. I took the extra internal injury damage, so then we'll do upkeep. Okay, we got border protection over here. Upkeep, steadfast, should be helpful. Counter card. Okay. Whew. Things are not looking great over there. Alright. I just don't want to deal with this, so let's block it. Oh, I think I went the wrong way. This is supposed to be up, right? Yeah. Alright, well, Lily's gonna need to save herself, so we're gonna have Norman come up and click off the injury, which is all of his actions. That said, we are going to want to use our Livre, so let's swap the top card of our deck to get I've Got a Plan, and then swap the Atlas to put this Atlas underneath the Atlas. That way we get as much value from our cards as possible. Alright, so it's Lily's turn. Lily's going to do the same thing and attack. She's plus 1 billion. She hits for 3. Attack again. She'll kill it. This is victory, so we won't see it again. And then with her final action, she's going to move out because that's massive. But that's all 3 for her. Then we go to the monster phase. Norman takes 1, and then Mills 5. So 1, 2, 3. We have to read this. So this blocks us from doing that. So then we'll do 4, 5. We can't pay the alternate cost because we're not allowed to. Alright, then we'll go to upkeep. That blocks us from drawing. Upkeep. Doom on the agenda, and encounter cards. Okay. Taylor from Time and Space goes there. Okay, nothing really important that we need to know. It does connect-ish, but we don't have to go there, so we probably won't. And then over here, monster, any extra dimensional location. Oh, tear through time and space seems perfect. It says here, when it enters a location, flip a clue to its doom side, and place it on it, or place one doom on it if there are no clues. So that's fine. So we'll just do that. Okay. So let's have Norman go first. Norman will go 1, 2, 3, and enter. Which I believe triggers this. Yep. Nothing. Cool. We need 6 clues and be at the edge of the universe to advance. So that's what this is. So we did 1. We were at here, so we went 1, 2, 3, so we're out of actions. We can't do anything with this because we have all of our stuff locked up, so that's fine. So now it's Lily's turn. Now that this was... Oh, this still has the restriction of 2 clues to advance. Alright, if we move here, this will move down and kill us, so let's not do that. If we go here, this location... Yeah, we're going to have Lily move down as action 1. As action 2, she'll take a horror to heal 3 health, which is going to do that, which is going to do that. And then with her third action, oh my goodness, 1, 2. We'll play the Rosary to get it back. This way, she's a little bit more stable on life. I'm a little worried about Norman's horror, but I can't do too much about it, so hopefully we don't get it from an encounter card, right? So upkeep and upkeep. They are both hunters, so they will hunt. And then at the end of the round, we're not going to put a doom on it, so we're going to discard it. So that's fine. Oh, I've been messing up. He can't leave Realms Beyond. Oh, man. I should read what cards do. All of that's been oh, man. I messed up everything. Yeah, he wasn't allowed to leave this because it's written on this card. So him being 100 doesn't matter. I wonder... Oh, because it's the original card, that's why. Alright. That's silly. All that extra work I just did was wasted and irrelevant, so super fun. Alright, so we're adding counter cards, because they hunted. Alright, you may draw a card. Okay, this is the one to try to pass the willpower test. So we'll definitely discard down on this. We'll discard a beat cop, right? Discard up to 2, then test. The test is equal to the number of cards in our hand. So we're testing +2. We'll use this to be +4. I don't know what that does. Let's look. Reveal another token. So we've already revealed 1 rogue. So if we reveal another one, okay. -1 for every extra dimensional in play. We're +4. There's 1, 2, 2 in play. So it's a pass. Okay. And then over here, please no horror. Okay, that goes into play. And lose 2 resources. Conveniently, that's all of the resources. Yeah, I'm going to discard this. I think we have a little bit of time, so I want to use it. Let's use this to try to heal. Oh, that's interesting. Well, if we had a way to use that, it would be great. But we don't right now. Let's... we can't get a card on top that we can use for a test, so we'll just investigate. We're +3. We succeed. We grab a clue. Wait, where did Norman's clues go? Did I not have clues? Oh, I spent them all. Oh man, I'm messing everything up today. So that means I would have went here. Let's say I would have gotten this clue. I would have to draw an extra encounter card. Okay. That's weird, but alright. I'd have no resources, and then this would be my second clue. So then I would still have this weakness, which means this would be here, that would be there. Alright, so if I stopped here last turn to get a clue, and then I get a clue this turn, and I drew the extra encounter card, so now I can move down. And I've spent 1 action. 2 actions. Investigate, move. So I can't click off my weakness. Oh, and Lily stopped here, so she would have to draw an extra encounter card as well. Man, I am off my game today, everyone, and I apologize. But that's fine. Discard a card at random from your hand. Well, that's easy, because we only have the 1. Okay. But Norman can enter because they have 2 clues, right? Oh, did I mess up and put them in the trash? I don't know what I did. We should have 2 clues and there should be a clue on this location, is what should happen. Alright, there's, okay. 2 clues here, 4 clues on the location. That's all correct. Or did I get? I got a third one with the last action. That's right. Okay, because it was investigate, move in, and investigate. Lily drew this extra card. She cannot move in, and she can't move backwards because of the way this works. She's out of cards in her hand, so let's play emergency cash and draw a card. Alright, let's draw another card and draw another card. Alright, it's the hunter phase, so he'll move in and attack Lily. When it enters the location, flip a clue. Or place a doom on it if there's no clues on it. So there are no clues on it, so it gets a doom. There was also no doom on the other one, which I didn't check. Does that put me over? Man. Oof, I am, you could tell I got in late and I'm a little disoriented. Alright, let's advance the agenda, I guess. Alright, let's reset the game a little bit because none of the things that have happened so far would have happened. This was here with 2 doom on it, which would leave when we do that. Over here, none of this changes, but this clue goes back on this location, this clue goes back onto this location, Norman goes back. Norman's turn is reset, Lily's turn is reset. Okay, and before anything happens, we need to resolve the advancing of the agenda. Okay, shuffle the encounter discard pile in, then discards from the top until a location is resolved, and then the lead investigator will do that. Okay. Not a location. So we're probably going to see not a lot of locations here because we've already put a bunch in, yeah. Just put it into play, so that's easy. We did save the students, so we don't have to take a horror, so that's fine. Okay. Then this guy... Oh no. Okay. Then everything that I did still stays the same. I would do the same thing for Norman. I would investigate twice. Or, yeah. I should have 3 clues now. The 2 from this location and 1 from here. Because I had 1 at the beginning of the turn. Yeah, okay. That's fine. And then for Lily, it's the same thing. Just draw 3 cards. Then he'll move in and engage Lily, and upon moving, he gains a doom, and she takes damage. So she'll take 1 and 2. Alright. I think we have finally fixed all the mess-ups and gotten back to a reasonable place. Doom on the agenda. Encounter cards. Okay, moving out of this location, we'll do things. Okay, so we can basically adjust our hand to help with the test, and I will. I will put this over there, and I will commit both of these cards to the test. So that gets me 3, so I'm 8 to 0. I succeed. We can't draw because Guts doesn't work that way, but we'll get this in our hand, and this will get discarded. Okay. Oh, I didn't do upkeep, but it's fine, because it's just going to give me a resource. We'll discard this guy with our first 2 actions. We will use Livre to swap these cards. We will use the Atlas to put this card here, and then we'll commit this and investigate. 6 to 2 is +4. We succeed. Actually, do we still succeed? That might be a 5 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, nope, that's a 5 now. I should have paid attention to that. I couldn't have gotten more anyway, but we fail, so that'll get discarded, and that's all 3 of Norman's actions. Lily has a friend, so she'll use her enchant weapon with the pole. Even though it's a -5, that's still a success. And it does 3 damage, so it'll die, taking its doom with it. This turn, Lily hasn't taken any damage, so she'll get back her discipline, which is good. She can't play any of the things in her hand, so none of that's necessary. We don't want to play this, and we don't want to do that, so we'll just draw a card. Okay. And then we'll play this for soak. What is it, 3? 1, 2, 3. So we'll get that down. This will reduce the cost of future spells, which we're probably not going to have too many of. We have the Spectral Sickles, maybe. spectral razors rather. But it'll give us 2 physical soak, which is helpful. Alright, so that is our turns. So we do monster phase. Even though he's a hunter, he doesn't leave. So just upkeep. Okay, well, we can definitely play them now. Upkeep, that's good. Doom on the agenda. 2 of 4, and encounter cards. Okay. Oh boy. Well, it's a good thing we have Blur here, because that would be a problem otherwise. Alright. Well, Lily can't get clues, so she'll just start by fighting. She'll use her enchant weapon. She'll succeed and deal 3 damage. And this is back. As we discussed before, that's not enough to kill it because it's got extra hit points. So let's do Spectral Razor. It's not elite, so it'll deal 3 damage, which is unnecessary, but it adds these numbers together, so it's a guaranteed success. Otherwise, unless it's a red Squid of Doom. And then we should always just be using this when we can, so we'll take this to do that and flip it over. Trying to heal. We have this for physical soak, so we're going to take that to start with. So that's the 3 for Lily. We're going to blur it up over here. So we're going to commit, or rather we're going to use Livre to swap the cards. We're going to consume a Fearless and then commit Fearless to the blur. Blur gives us +2 skill, so we're using 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2 is +7. We succeed, so we're going to heal 2 horror because we succeeded by 2 or more, which is perfect. And then evasion, so it gets exhausted. And then we can use 2 charges of blur to gain extra actions. So now we have 4 more actions, so we're going to just investigate a bunch. We are 5 to 2, which is +3. So this is -2, so we succeed. So we get a clue. +3, it's still a success. That's -5, so it's a fail. Alright, so then we go to the monster phase. The only monster is exhausted. Then we go to the upkeep. During the upkeep, he'll ready and engage us. We see this on top, and we can play our Foresight and block it, so we will. And then upkeep over here. Alright. Doom on the agenda, and encounter card. Any extra dimensional location. We're just going to pick the one that we're at, and then it gets a Doom because there's no clues with the location. Okay, so we can make this test. Let's swap the top card of the encounter deck with Shortcut. Let's consume Fearless. Let's then commit Fearless, which will get us to +2. So 7 to 2 is +5. We needed all 5, but we succeed, so we heal 2. I actually realized I made a mistake before. When this succeeded, it actually goes to my hand, not to my discard pile, as will this one. And then we succeeded, so the test goes away. Alright, well, I don't think Norman's going to do a good job of fighting this guy, so what I'm going to do is shortcut our way up. I'm going to then evade him using Blur. We'll commit Fearless, so again, we're +7. We'll fail. If you succeed, spend this. If you succeed by this, take damage. But we're not succeeding, so that's fine. So we're going to do it again with this Fearless. We'll succeed, so we'll heal 2. We'll spend this to get our 2 actions back, which was basically the actions that we spent. So now we're only going to get 3 this turn, but we're going to leave the monster with Lily. We'll move back down. We have 2 actions remaining, and we'll just investigate. That's -5 as a fail. That's a success. So we can spend the clues now to advance, and I don't think Lily's going to reliably be able to get 2 clues, so we're just going to do that. Alright, there's only... Ooh, whoops, there's another thing here. Remove Edge of the Universe from the game and put Tear Through Time into play. So that's this one. Okay. Well, when we remove a location from play, we get sent back to here. That's not from an encounter card effect, that's from the act. So none of the encounter cards have made us do this yet, so that's good. This is a forced effect, so it would move him here. Right? When a forced effect would move an investigator or another enemy to another dimension, move them here instead. Yep, okay. So we're going to try to move with our final action, and it is a cost. Do we have to test willpower 3, so we're +2 to that. We'll go +3 because we really don't want to fail. We succeed, so we can get out. Okay. So Lily's got a whole bunch of enemies, so we'll start dealing with them. We'll use our enchant weapon on this one. That'll succeed and kill it. And then we'll use the dragon pole on that one. So he's got 4. Actually, is he elite? He's not. Let's use Spectral Razor, right? That's the whole reason why we're playing the card. So we are... oh boy, my brain's not working. 10, so yeah. Yep, we succeed. So he'll take 3 damage. And then we'll use the pole. 2 slots are filled, so it's 7. 7 to 4 is +3. Let's go +4. We succeed, and he'll die and go to the victory display. Oh, and I think we got another one, right, for the display? Yeah, look at that, all that extra victory. The reason why it's important to put them into the victory display is because there are times when the discard pile gets shuffled back in, so it's just protecting from that being a problem. Alright, well, we have now done all 3 actions for Lily. So she's done, so we'll go to upkeep. Okay, and upkeep. Doom on the agenda, advances. Ooh, whoops. Okay, shuffle the discard pile in and go get a location until, or flip until you hit a location, so. Okay. Oh, sorry, this would have went away either this turn or last turn, I don't know. It only stays in for 1 turn. Or you could pay Doom to keep it, but you would not do that. If at least 1 name is recorded to sacrifice to Yogg Sothoth, read the following. So definitely there is at least 1 name. There's 2 of them. So we have to test willpower 2. So we are +3 to that test. We are going to use the Livre, or actually let's consume Eureka. We'll use the Livre to commit Guts, and we'll use the Atlas to commit this to get us to 8-2. We have to reveal again. We succeed. What's the penalty for this? If you fail, we did not fail. So we draw from Guts, and then we do the top 3 from Eureka. We'll take Written in the Star, or we'll take Divination rather. We'll flip this over, shuffle, 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 put it back. Eureka comes to our hand because it came off the Atlas. And then over here we have to test. We're not together, so she can only provide for herself. She'll commit this to be 7-2 as +5, and she'll succeed as well. So no damage taken. I realize now also she didn't take damage last turn, so she gets this back, although I think I forgot to, yeah, I forgot to take it down. Okay, so this goes away. New agenda has 6 Doom. The rest of it's the same. And then we are into encounter cards. Okay. I think that's like over here-ish. It's a little weird, alright. Then draw the top Madness card in your discard pile. So that was drawn by Lily, so we have to search for a Madness. And we go backwards to see if she drew any. This is an injury. This is a flaw. This is an injury, so she's okay. She doesn't have any madnesses, luckily. Okay, nothing makes us go here, and if you would leave, you have to test willpower, and it gets shuffled away. But that's okay. We don't necessarily have to do that because we can enter from this unstable vortex. Oh, Lily's been here the whole time. All right, so she has to draw 2 encounter cards at least. So let's do that now. For each card in your hand, if there's a copy in your discard pile, take 1 horror. If not, okay, none of these cards are in her discard pile, I don't think. Oh, there's a Sixth Sense, so she takes a horror. Okay. Which means this would have stayed down, which means that. Okay. And then we'll draw another one. There are these in play. There's 5, we'll say, so we're testing at -1. So -2, so we take we fail by 2, so we take 2 horror. Okay. All right. So then let's have Norman go. He'll move to here, move to here, move to here. We're gonna have to do this. Discard the top card of your deck, written in the stars. If it's a weakness, draw it. Otherwise, if it's in your hand or play area, take a horror. So we don't have to deal with that, so that's fine. And that's 1, 2, 3 actions, so that's everything for Norman. Lily will move in, that's 1 action. We'll have her play Sixth Sense, which is in the 3rd arcane slot provided from Dragon Pole, which now gets +3. And then she will investigate the location at 4 to 3, which is +1. And we'll see what happens. Hey, success. So she needs another clue to be able to resign. And then we go to the monster phase. There aren't any, so we'll do upkeep. Okay. Upkeep. Alright, and then now we don't have to do this because we're not there anymore. Doom on the agenda, 1 of 6, and encounter cards. This is not an extra dimensional location. Otherwise, take 2 damage. Okay, well, goodbye, Robes of Endless Night. Oh, this would have come back last round because technically we didn't take damage last round. The previous one we attributed to the earlier round. This has Surge, but we've already hit it, so we can't hit it again. And that's fine. It's just another location. We don't need to go to it. Discard a random card. Okay. So we'll have Lily go. She'll be investigating. She's +3 now. Oh, yeah. I was actually +2 last turn. Interesting. Alright, but she's +3. She'll investigate. She'll succeed and resign. Right, because that's the goal, is to resign here. Yeah. And then Norman will commit deduction, and Eureka succeeds, gets both clues, and resigns. So that's all, everybody. Resolution 1. Alright, so aside from the fact that we messed up a couple of turns in the beginning, which I apologize for, it was relatively smooth. Lily used her pole and handled everything. We had the full combo of the pole online on turn 1 using Ever Vigilant, which was super cool. We got to see Norman's Atlas do work and some Atlas Livre comboing. So Resolution 1, we close the tear in reality, we take a bunch more trauma, and we get experience equal to the victory +5. So it's, I think, like, I don't know, 10? Right, so 3 + 5 is 8. There's none on the location? Oh, I didn't take the clues off, right? Oh, no, there aren't any. Interesting. I guess they know it's the final mission. I don't know. Anyway, so we got 8 more XP and we win the campaign. So we'll be done with Dunwich. Tomorrow's going to be moving on to Carcosa. I haven't even considered who I'm going to play yet, so that's a thing for tomorrow. I'm pretty sure I'm going to play Patrice. She's one of my favorites, and her primary role typically is clue getter, so that's what I'm going to play her as, which means I need to deal with like a monster specialist in the other role, and so I don't know who that's going to be yet. I remember Carcosa being very happy if you had high willpower. And so I think I'm going to either pick a Mystic or Leo. I was thinking about doing Leo because he died so early in the run that we did with him last time that maybe he'd get a chance to shine this time. So that's the goal. We'll see if I can make decks tonight. Having the full card pool available to Leo really helps. I think the card is called the Star from Return to the Circle Undone. It's a tarot card that gives all of your allies +1 health. That's just super, super strong on Leo. You end up with 4 or 5 allies, and if you have sled dogs, up to I think 7, right? Because you get the 2 charismas, Mitch, plus the extra slots from the sled dogs. So you could have the base one, the 2 charismas, the 2 from Mitch, and you could have 7 allies with Mitch and sled dogs. which is a pretty neat way to play Leo. I tend to not play him that way. I don't like the sled dogs. I tend to do more like the traditional unique allies, but and beat cops and field agents, or yeah, field agents. I don't know. You'll see it. But anyway, I hope everyone enjoyed this one. I apologize again for the few errors that I made tonight, or I guess many errors. I messed up a bunch. I missed some doom happening. I was able to rewind most of it, and I feel as if even though I made mistakes, the integrity of the game was preserved by the resolutions that I provided. Like I drew a bunch of encounter cards. None of them really impacted the game. I ended up drawing more locations, which actually made the skulls worse, but they were already at -5. I think this would have been gone on the last turn, but like we still had enough locations to move through. We never failed to a test here, things like that. But overall, it went well. I enjoyed Norman a lot more than I thought I would. Lily feels like she needs a lot of setup, but she has a lot of resiliency. So yeah, I feel like the more of the disciplines you get, the worse she gets. So I don't know if you actually want to put them in. I have to look. Is it like a requirement? You may, yeah, you don't have to. So I feel like after the first one and the second one that draws you cards, like this probably wasn't necessary. Like the +1 was nice, but having the extra weakness in the deck might be worse. I'd have to sit and like really look into the nuts and bolts of the deck because you're usually using the Dragon Pole with 2 assets, so you're already using 6, 7 combat without even committing cards. And then if you have the hammer, right, like I don't even know, it's probably at the bottom or something. Yeah. If you're using the hammer, you're hitting for like 8 or 9, right? Because you're adding your willpower. So I don't know, it's pretty good. These are really awesome. I'm sure you saw them the other time when I was playing with Zoe, but these are really, really strong with the hammer, right? Because they give you +4 to hammer checks. They give you +2 to sixth sense checks. They give you +2 to basic combat checks, or just to any kind of combat or willpower check. And so they're not unique. You can have 2 of them, and they only cost 2, so they're relatively cheap. They're great to play with Ever Vigilant in the beginning if you have them in your hand. So that's what I spent the 4 XP from the last mission on this instead of the extra hammer because we were 1 short. If you remember Norman, I thought I had 4, but he had his weakness in his hand, so we actually only got 2, and we used it on the second copy of Fearless. But anyway, that's it for tonight. Hope everyone had a good time, and we will see you guys tomorrow for Carcosa, or Return to Carcosa.